So one of the things that you need to look at whenever you're thinking about a fitness program is how much resistance training you're doing. If you're on even if you're on a running program, any kind of like endurance based sport, you still need to make sure you're strength training. Your musculature, it's like a bank account. It's like an investment account that you have for retirement. The more you put into it early, the more you're going to have to live off of later on in life. So if you don't start investing until you're like 38, 39, you'll probably get a pretty good return at some point, but it's going to take you a lot longer to see that return grow and you're not going to have as much. So if you start as early as you can, you're going to have a bigger bank account. You're going to have a bigger investment account to pull from. Just like with building muscle, the earlier you start, the more muscle you're going to be able to have. And I don't mean like what most people think about whenever you talk about muscle and building muscle. I'm not talking about like bodybuilders or things like that. I'm just talking about relative to where you are. You could be a 120-pound female that has no interest in fitness or maybe not fitness, but like bodybuilding and figure competing and things like competing and things like that. But you still have to sustain, and if you can grow again relative to your body size, muscle mass on your frame, it's going to benefit you long term. You see it time and time again. These people who are older, they're in their 50s, 60s, whatever, and they're still spry, they're still capable, they're still doing things that they enjoyed doing when they were younger. Maybe not at the same speed, maybe not at with the same quality or impressiveness that they once had, but they're still doing it, and that has a lot of impact on your mental health, your self-efficacy, things that give you confidence, and things that allow you to feel like a fulfilled human being, your hobbies and the things that bring you joy. If they're affected by your inability to do them or just how you feel about yourself, it's gonna affect your long-term mental health as well. So again, you want to make sure that you're strength training, build as much muscle as you can, start as early as you can. Even if you didn't start early, start now, and that way you can keep uh, growing muscle, you can keep sustaining muscle for a lot longer. God forbid something happen like an accident or you get sick or things like that. Losing muscle, when things like that happen, it's actually pretty easy. Gaining muscle, getting your strength back, that's hard. Ask anybody who's been recovering from any of the aforementioned, again, whether it's sickness or some kind of injury. They'll always tell you, it's like, yeah, I got to regain my strength. I have to regain what I was able to do once, and that's just to get back to baseline. At a certain point in your life, it becomes nearly impossible to get back to exactly where you were, and even more so whenever you start to get into your elderly stages. So just some things to think about. Make sure that you guys are prioritizing strength training and hit those weights or even calisthenics, whatever. Resistance in general, fight gravity, resist external weights and things like that, and it'll benefit you on a lot of different levels, but mainly physically, right? You'll be able to do more and you'll be able to sustain a better quality of life.